Hello and welcome back to the Nita Black Show. It's amazing the discussions that are going on. I had some lively discussions today, and I tell people as much as black people and whites, but much as black people talk about how the racism is, changed and America has changed and all these different things about racism. When a question is asked that makes a person actually have to face the reality of the things going on right now, the things that have gone on in history, and how those events compare in the racial spectrum, if you will. It's amazing how honest black folks start to get as they get deeper off into the discussion. And the more questions that come out or the more topics that come up, you see them actually breaking through that pretense that they keep on in the white corporate world or the white world, at school or wherever. And they start to get real about the things that are really going on. For example, you have people that say they get along great with whites, and then when we break down some of the things that go on, suddenly they're talking about experiences they had that is just like that. And while they made excuses and, or ignored or brushed over the events when they occurred to them at work as a way to get along and sort of, keep everything on the pretended getting along level, you find when the discussions get deep that they actually did not do themselves a great service. They actually did themselves a great disservice. And that dishonesty allowed those racial conditions to not only fester, but affect other black people that may speak out more than some of the house Negroes that make excuses. So, of course, I hit them with a poem, and I'm going to hit you with the same one. We're going to start it out with one of the topics that came up today. I put the topic out there, and because I had all of these house Negro blacks talking about how great they get along with whites at work and how they're just like family and all kinds of different things. So I put this out there, and I put a poem out, and then we discuss it. So this one is called A Black Man on an Elevator. 3 white women on an elevator looked back with surprise when all the blacks they knew got off, but I still had to ride. One whispered to the other one, "Do you think that he's a crook?" The other whispered, "Maybe," all were trying not to look. The 3 white women got much older as we went up even more. They plotted on ways to kill me as we passed the upper floors. One said to them that in her pocket she had a small nail file. She told them it could kill me, but it may take a little while. One said she could distract me while one grabbed me from behind. I couldn't believe that these white women had a lynching on their mind. One whispered, "You know blacks, they have that slavery in their blood. If we don't make it look right, civil rights calls start to flood." They decided to call security. I knew what they were hoping, but they realized that I worked there as the elevator opened. I told the 3 white women as we were walking through the doors, if the effect of slavery is still in my blood, the effect of hate is still in yours. And that's a Black Panther poem by Nita Black from 1986. And so that kind of caused a quiet moment. You could literally hear the crickets. And then, of course, the brave soul that decides to be the first to begin the discussion. And, of course, he, being one of the more vocal people about how much he gets along with whites at first, after hearing the poem, confessed that he experiences that a lot in his corporate pretend world with white folks, and that while he often tries to, he doesn't pay it any attention, he realized in the discussion that he actually pays it more attention than he allows himself to believe. And he went through some of the different memories or experiences that were in his memory bank, especially when it comes to the first year that he was there. A whole year it took for what he says people to get used to him as a 6'3" black man riding on the elevator with them. And he spoke of how even some things that he ignored at the time, but that he now sees is more was more racially based than he was willing to admit, to himself. That when he got on an elevator with black women, even if it was just one black woman by herself, he could have very well been a crook or, rapist or whoever. But he remembered always feeling the black woman. He talked about those always looking out the corner of his eyes and seeing the black women or a black woman looking at his physique or looking at his butt or looking at his feet or looking at him in a while he's good looking. He said he usually just ignored it because he actually admitted that he dates white women exclusively, which we all kind of went off on him. But so he didn't really pay the black women much attention. He, while he was not even feeling that flattery that a black man would normally feel, because he just was not, to him, interested in black women. He did admit during the discussion that he felt, them not being afraid of him, but actually being attracted to him. And he mentioned, afterwards that for that first year especially, he felt the opposite from white women, and even though he would find himself looking at the white woman's physique, her breast, her whatever she was wearing, her legs, whatever, and being attracted to the white woman, but seeing that look in her eyes of, I'm wondering, is he going to do something to me, and he said it took about a year of people getting to know him, what floor he worked on and all that stuff. And even then, depending on the time of day, even having known that he works there, if he works late, which he did often, if he had to take the elevator with one of the people that know he works in the same floor, in the same building, whatever, there was still that look on their face. And he talked about the look being on the face the same for white women on the elevator with him as white men. And the white women having that look that, oh my gosh, he's going to do something to me. And white men, of course, having that look of, he's going to rob me.